Raisina Dialogue 2024. Recently, our Prime Minister has hosted this. Uh, Previously, this is fundamentally a defense summit, I should say, and leading to all the basic defense and arms related issues with respect to the world, conflict zones, confrontations, all these things. Since India is almost standing like a global leader, keeping that in head, this particular summit and dialogue is very, very important for your prelims. So the whole game here is this base of this is the Shangri-La Dialogue, which was first organized by Singapore, and now India is a host for it. Therefore, it is very, very important. And which are the other countries which are involved in this dialogue, and what are the pillars of this, and what are the concepts involved? Let's look at it. So, majorly, it's the ninth edition. It's the ninth edition of Raisina's Dialogue, inaugurated by our Prime Minister, and it's an annual conference. That's very important. What is a conference about? It is related to geopolitics and geoeconomic issues. So, throughout the world, what are the economic issues? What are the other things? Everything has been clearly mentioned. That is a whole game. Now, what is the aim of this dialogue? The dialogue aims to address the most challenging issues faced by the world. So, what are the major problems? Major, for example, Russia-Ukraine issue, Red Sea issue. These are all global conflicts. Therefore, this is very important. Now, this design is based on Singapore's Shangri-La Dialogue. Base is that. So, in this slide, the most important thing is what is it related to? Geopolitics and geoeconomic issues. So, there might be a prelims question which will ask you, this dialogue is related to climate, industry, geopolitics, all that. Which of the following are true? That might be the question. So, base is Singapore Shangri-La Dialogue. That is very important. Now, what is Shangri-La Dialogue? That is, it's Asia's premier, it's a defense summit. That is very important. And it is an intergovernmental thing where all the heads of the state, diplomats, secretaries, all of them assemble together and look at it. So, keeping that in mind, that is very important. So, fundamentally, the concept is it's a dialogue for a common security policy for all the countries, which will be followed as rules and regulations. That is a whole game. And how many times it is held? It is held annually. This is the 9th year which is happening, so it is important. So, who does that? The think tank International Institute of Strategic Studies. This is very important. IISS. So, you might get a question in prelims, who does this dialogue? Who actually does it? So, that is IISS. That is very important. You must keep this in mind. I think that is more than sufficient. So, in this slide, it's a defense summit. That is very important. And it's based out of Munich conference. I'm sure all of you know what is Munich conference. And then security policy, it is held annually. That is very important. So they'll give you a question regarding Shangri-La Dialogue. Which of the following statements are true with respect to Shangri-La Dialogue? So these are all the points. If you remember this, that's sufficient. In Delhi, we have ORF to organize this, which is called Observer Research Foundation. It is linked with the Ministry of External Affairs. And who is the chief guest for this time? Mr. Kyriakos Mitsotakis, Greece. Hellenic Republic from Greece. So you need to remember this for your prelims. This also for your prelims. ORF is based out of which city is a question which might pop up. And it is an independent global think tank based out of Delhi, the ORF one. And the foundation centers are in Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. You remember this. What does it provide? It provides potentially viable inputs for policy as well as decision makers regarding security purposes and other things which are there. So if you know this, I think it should be more than sufficient. ORF, chief guest, independent global think tank, potentially viable influence for making decisions. So what is the structure of this dialogue? The dialogue is structural as a multi-stakeholder cross-sectional discussion. Who are the participants in it? All the heads of the states and leaders. Theme is very important for your prelims. Please remember this. It is called Chaturanga, 4. Conflict, contest, cooperate, and create. C4. So, Chaturanga, which means C to the power of 4. If you remember that, conflict, contest, cooperate, and create. These are the major theme of this. All these themes will work under 6 different pillars. Please remember the pillars. The 6 pillars are tech. In terms of technology, what are the things? With respect to peace, with respect to planet, that means to invest as well as innovate. War and peace, what are the harmonies and asymmetries? And decolonizing multilateralism, that means what are the institutions and inclusions which can be involved to get this work done. And finally, post 2020 agenda, people in progress. If you are able to be successful in all these things, this leads to this part, people in progress. So the ShangriLa Dialogue is very, very important for your prelims.